Okay, so this is for creating your budget once you are done finding all of your information. You will only have Monday, a full day to finish doing your budget, and Tuesday I'm only going to give you part of the day. By Wednesday, we're moving on. So you need to be done with this part, this like part A of this project by I would say Monday or middle of the class Tuesday. Maybe even to the end of class on Tuesday, but like Wednesday, we're starting the next part, so you need to start working like hard or like start working outside school, make this into homework. So once you're ready to start your budget, you need to go log into your Google account, and you're going to want to open your Drive, and then from your Drive, you're going to go new. If you're not in Google, if you're like on a different site, it might not say new. It might give you different options. So when you get to new, you want to do a Google Sheet. Once you get into Google Sheets, this is where we are going to make it. So here, what I want you to do, so because you're going to eventually share these with me, put your name. So mine's going to say Miss Erin, and then it's going to say budget. And that's what you're going to call this one. So that's what this is going to be named. So that way when you share it with me, I know whose it is, what it is, and what you're sharing with me. I would start in cell C4. And so what you're going to do first is put all the months, because we're going to make a budget based off of a year for each month. So January, February, so that's December, and I'll move this so you can see that a little bit better. So first I have all of those. Then what you're going to do is skip a little bit, come over here, put the word income, and underneath of that put the word total. Skip another couple of lines. So this is like what you're bringing in, and this is now going to be what you're like subtracting, getting rid of. So you're going to have your month's rent. Then this is where you're going to put all of your bills. So I'm just going to write the word bills. This is where you would you might need to put like electric bill, cable/internet bill, water bill. Some of you don't have water because it comes with your house. Some of you need gas bill. Some of you need maintenance bill. Some of you need this. A lot of you, unless you're military, will need life insurance. So all of those bills, so whatever bills that you looked up that you need to pay. Then you're going to put house expenses. Wow, expense. I don't even know how to spell that, so I'm going to put house costs. Sorry, math person, don't know how to spell. House costs, and then food, and then your total. So these are all your bills, things that you're paying. And this is all for a month. House costs is going to be that list of items that you made up. So this will be like the different things that you're going to buy for your house. And we made that list of here's the item, here's where I'm getting it, and here's the price of it. You're going to try and then split up what you're buying throughout a year. So you all you're going to have to talk to your roommates and decide, I'm going to buy this, you're going to buy this, you're going to buy this. If some of you are at camp this week, your roommates or your partners that are in school right now, I want you to email them a list of things, split up the list and say, here's your half, here's my half, and send them the cost and everything. So if you're at camp, you need to check your email for someone, or send them a text hey, send me this, or send them an email hey, can you remember to send me all the things that I have to buy for the house. So split up that cost, and then you're going to need to play around with that, to see what you need. So first, what I want you to do is I want you to click, so that way we can have it do the math, and then I'll show you how to play around with it. So click under January where it says total. In the top right up here, there's a little function. It looks like a little sideways M. That's called a summation. Click that and click sum. Once you're there, click on the income box right above it, and then click enter. A 0 should pop up like you see on my screen. And then you're going to do that for every single month. So that way it's giving you a total. So go into the total, sum, click the one above it, enter. So go ahead and do that. All right, so once you do that, what you want to do now is put what you make per month in each of these income boxes. So the number I gave you, so let me pull up a calculator. You're going to want a calculator. So the number I gave you on that little slip of paper for whatever your job is your yearly income. So take whatever that number is. So just say that you make $64,000 and divide that number by 12 to figure out what you make in a month. So this person, if you make $64,000 in 1 month, you make this much money. So I would round, if it gives you a decimal, I would round to like think about actual change. So we're going to go up to like cents. So you can only have like 33 cents. So I'm going to make this $5,333.33. And I'm going to put that in all of these. And then it should change. Oops. I did not copy this number. Nope, that's still not copying it. Why is it doing that? All right, 5333.33. So now it's showing us that this is our total income for each month. That's what you're pulling in each month. So you only have that much to spend in a month. That is your total amount to spend. And you don't really want to spend all of that in a month. You can, but you don't really want to. You want to be able to have some money left over just like for emergencies. So now what I want you to do is now we need to be able to add up all of these. So go to the total. So you're going to go for each month again. Click on the total down here, the second total. Again, click on the little sum. But now I want you to highlight from rent all the way down to food, or like all of the different things that you have, highlight those boxes and then press enter. So do the same thing for each month. So then go to the total for February, sum, highlight all of the bills that you have there, total. So do that for every single month. So it's going to add up all of your bills for you. You don't need to add them. Try to put some. So, not hard, just tedious, highlighting, pressing enter, some. I'm almost there, yay. And the last one. All right, so that's going to give us our total now for all of the things that you're paying for. And now we want it to be able to subtract and tell us how much we have left over in a month, and you might have negative numbers. So now, beneath all of those zeros, or beneath those totals in each month, so if you're looking where I am, it's beneath that. I want you to go back up now to the sum, click sum. From there, click the total under the income, so click that button. It's going to say like C whatever, like mine C7. Do a minus sign, and then click your total there, the second total, and then click enter. So keep watching that if that was hard and confusing. So you click underneath the total. So right now I'm in February, so you can, if you didn't get January, start in January. So whatever month you're in, below the last total, so right below that, I'm then going to, in that box, I'm going to do the sum. I'm going to click the first total value. So like after income, there's a total. So in February still, February's total, do a minus sign, and then still in February, the total, but for everything, that like all of the bills that you're paying. Click that one, and then click enter. So that's what you're doing for every single one of these now, for all of the months. That way, it'll tell you what you have left over at the end of each month that you're paying. So sum the total from the first minus the total of the second. And then press enter. Total minus total, enter. Next one. So that's what you're doing. So once you get this, you can like fast forward this part if you needed to, like same with it. Like you don't have to, once you understand what's going on, fast forward to the next part of instructions. I'm just leaving this up here in case anybody still needs to see what's going on. Oop, that got messed up. So I'm going to erase it and go back. Sum of this one minus this one. Enter. So we're just going to be looking at a year budget. All right, so now once you have all that, now you can start entering in your money. So the ones that should stay the same, so would be your rent, electric, cable, water, gas, insurance. Your food and your house costs might change. And again, if you are a military person, so if you're not a military person, you don't have to listen to this. Well, if you are in the military or your roommates with someone that's military, you get to take 15% off. If you're a police officer, you get to take 10% off. So in the actual column, I want you to write the actual, like, with it off. So if you were supposed to be whatever your rent was, after you took the 15% off, put that number here. What I want you to do though, the original rent, just say that was if you were paying $300 for rent. Then this is the original number. Then take your 15% off of that, right? And then put what your new rent price should be here after you, like these will be the new prices. This is the before your price. Again, also with military, you do not need to put life insurance on here. You won't need this column. You get it for free. So for some of these numbers, if you haven't split them up yet, so just say for rents, let me get a calculator again. Just say you guys are looking at a place that costs, I don't know, $1,050, and you're splitting it, there's 2 roommates. Then you would take that number, because that's month rent total, and divide that by 2. You would each then owe $525. If it's 3 of you, divide by 3. So $525. So right now I'm going to add that into rent. $525. And as you see, the number down here, that's how much I have left over from my paycheck. It's subtracting it already. And then if you looked up the average electric bill, so when you do these, you're looking up like the average electric bill for whatever size house you have. Or average electric bill for a 2-bedroom apartment. Average electric bill for a 4-bedroom house. Whatever that is per month. So I'm just going to say that this is going to be $65.80. So that's $65.80. $65.80, and so on all the way across. Then your cable and internet together, I'm going to say this is $120. Oop, that was $102. $120, $120, $120, whatever, all the way across. Your water bill, I'm going to say that this is $50. Whatever you find it to be. I'm just making up numbers right now. Gas bill, I'm going to call this $63. I'm just making up numbers. Life insurance a month, maybe you pay $37 for life insurance a month. Again, if you were someone that wanted like Netflix and all those different things, those would be in this part as well. So whatever you're paying for that has a monthly bill to it, put those here. So Netflix, I don't like depending on if you're going to do Hulu, so that would be over here. Whatever you have to pay for a month. Don't worry about any car or anything like that. The only insurance you're going to need is life insurance. This is where you have to play around, and this is where you have to work with your other roommates. So your house cost, so this is where you're going to look at that list that you made and like split up who's buying what. And then you're going to split it up into each month. So like maybe in January, like the most important things, you're going to probably want to buy your bed, like so you're going to want to be able to sleep on that. And then maybe all of the things like that you're going to need like showering wise. Like, so the most important things that you definitely need to live in a month. So, like, you're going to want a bed, you're going to want your toothbrush, all of your shampoo, stuff like that, toilet paper. So, split up who's buying that and then put whatever that, like, add up those totals. So, you're not all doing this. It's like, if me, Mr. Graff, and Miss Hanson were living together, I'm buying my own bed. I'll buy the toilet paper. Mrs. Hanson's going to buy the toothpaste, and Mr. Graff is going to buy paper towels. Like, we're going to split up it like that. But there are things that I'm buying that they're like, they don't need to buy my toothbrush. I'm buying my own toothbrush. I'm buying my own bed. I'm buying my own whatever. So those are, you're going to try and split that up. You're going to have to play around with it. So just say in January, whatever you're buying, it's going to cost, I don't know, $897. Whatever that may be. And then for food in a month, you realize that you're each going to pay, or if you're buying it by yourself, I have to pay $280 for food that month. And then your leftover, you still have, after this, $3,295.53. All right, so this is all you've spent so far in this month, and you have extra left over. Remember that this is not including taking taxes out, so it might seem a little higher. And if you go low, think like in real life, like you're actually going to owe a lot more than that because of taxes. So none of this has had taxes on here. So then same thing here. Maybe in February, though, you need to buy a little more things, or you can spend a little bit more because you see that you have more money. Maybe we're going to spend $1,020 on whatever you need, and you're still going to spend $280 on food that month, or maybe you want more food, and this time you have this much left over. So you're going to play with your budget. After you're done creating your budget, I want you to share it with me, and then I want you, like, you're going to have to, whoever in your group wrote down the things that you, your list of, here's this item, here's where I'm getting it from, here's how much it costs. I want you to tell me whether or not you guys could buy everything on your items. Like, could you afford that in your 12 months? Could you get every single thing on your item? If not, which items did you leave off and why? Like, oh, we decided to not get a 60-inch TV because for our bathroom because we couldn't afford it in a year, and there was other things that we needed that were more important, like food or nightstands or a mirror. And then I also want you to tell me if this is a reasonable budget that you made, if this is something that you could really live off of on this salary. If you ran out of, like, so just say that, I'm going to switch some numbers up in here. I'm going to make some of these ridiculous, like some of you are looking at spending rent for like that much. And then let's put you down that you're going to spend $3,000 there. And like so, and then let's make this 60, because some of you are looking at huge houses, so they're going to cost a lot more of your bills. 120. Electric, you have like 15 rooms, that's going to cost you like $150. Your water bill, because you have all those bathrooms, that's probably going to cost you $112. And then your life insurance, you're probably going to want more of that since you make a lot of money. You're going to want to pay like $90 for health insurance. Food, you're going to need a lot more food. You have a bunch of kitchens, so you're going to probably spend like $300 on food. But you see how like it, why is it doing that? So, nope, let's just make one of these a little bit more. Electric bill, let's make this 180. It's changing something. Ready, look. And then once you get into negatives, that's what I was trying to get. I'm just playing with numbers. Once you get into negatives, this means that you spent more than you're actually making in. And if you have that for like almost every month, I want you to tell me like why that is. Like what's happening, what happens to people that have this happen to them in real life, because this happens to real people in real life. So you're going to write me like a little on Google Docs or on a piece of paper that you're going to turn in, and this is all getting turned into me on Tuesday. This is done on Tuesday. So you're going to be turning into me this document. You're going to share that with me. Whoever made your document on the house that you're getting and all of the items and how much they cost, so that's a Google Doc, share it with me. If it's on a piece of paper, you're handing that into me. And then your little summary of everything of like, is this a realistic thing, like way to live? Did you budget well? What could you do with the extra money? What's going to happen if you actually paid attention to taxes? Things like that. So like make me an actual summary of this. That's all going to be due to me on Tuesday.